ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi, when you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
There you get a look at the Saville Community Sports Center. This is the 11th and final game of the U Sports Final 8 Women's Basketball Championship. Gold is on the line. There you get a look at the Carleton Ravens, the number 2 seed heading into this weekend, and the Saskatchewan Huskies, number 1. Welcome inside the Saville Community Sports Center. I'm Mark Majot. Please be joined alongside Kira Lyons and Doug McLeod. And we have a fantastic matchup tonight for gold. Last night, Saskatchewan dispatched of Laval 64-57, and Carleton snuck past Queens 74-40. Last night in the Saskatchewan game, they were down 16-2, but showed no panic. It was the Carly Alstrom show. 27 points to go along with 5 rebounds. Kira, I will start with you. This Saskatchewan team is on a mission, and their mission will not be accomplished until there are 4 zeros on the board.
Absolutely. I think last year, a little bit of a disappointing ending to their season. You know, they were number 1 in the country, lost out to the Pandas in the quarterfinals of the Can West, and, you know, weren't awarded the wild card. And I think that really, as tough as it is to lose in that situation, it really lights a fire. And to go an undefeated season is a really scary thing. And so you lose that game, you understand that you have to show up always because anyone will beat you. This league is too good and too strong. And then they returned everybody. So it's a really scary team on a mission today.
It seems to be a pro-Saskatchewan crowd. There's a lot of Saskatchewan license plates out in the parking lot. And Doug, all this talk about Saskatchewan, Carleton is saying, hey, wait, we're the reigning U Sports champs.
Right.
Do we have a say in this conversation? They're another team that's on a mission.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we haven't seen a back-to-back winner since Windsor won 5 straight. And I think Carleton wants to be that team that does it. It's a school with a culture of winning in basketball, and the women are doing just that as well. Both teams looking for their 3rd ever national title here today. And it's been back and forth all season between these two as far as who is the number 1 team in the country. Well, in a few hours, we're going to have the answer.
When you look at how evenly matched these teams are, I don't think one team has a certain advantage. Let's talk about Saskatchewan for a quick second. Lisa Tomaitis, U Sports Coach of the Year, Canada West Coach of the Year, in her 26th season. Her team just has this calm demeanor about them. I don't think their heart rate has really risen all weekend long, and I feel like the team really gets their mojo from their head coach.
100%. I mean, having experienced it firsthand, she's so composed, so confident, and I mean, like you said, 26 years, and she's been to this tournament, you know, I don't even know how many times, and been there, done that, understands what it takes to win, and winning breeds winning, right? Like, when you've had a successful program, the veterans understand what it feels like, and that all comes down from the coaching staff, and that's not just Lisa, that's Laura, that's Jackie, that's Allie, it's the entire staff.
Should mention Kira played 3 years with the Saskatchewan Huskies, so she's very familiar with that coaching staff. And the Carleton Ravens, Doug, they took quite the path to get here. They have such a balanced attack on offense, but watching Callie Pockernick play, she had 22-2 in the semifinals. It was really spectacular to see what she brings on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. They're deep, and I mean, Pockernick's their star, but they've got other weapons, and you see just how they use players defensively, and yeah, they're a very interesting team that's going to create all kinds of matchup challenges for the Huskies here tonight, which is what makes this matchup so intriguing.
Saskatchewan has won 2 national championships, 2016 and 2020. Something about leap years, I guess, for that Saskatchewan program. As I mentioned, Carleton is the reigning U Sports champions. They won this tournament last year. They're looking to have the first repeat winner since Windsor won 5 in a row between 2011 and 2015. They're going to look at the Saskatchewan Huskies. It is a pro Saskatchewan crowd tonight in Edmonton. Huskies fans travel incredibly well, and Listen, I know we still have national anthems to get to. I just want to get this game going. This gym is ready to burst right now.
I think the players will be in agreement with you, Mark. They just want to get going too. Let's get all this other stuff out of the way and get going.
We will take a quick pause for land acknowledgement, and national anthem will be back with starting lineups and keys to the game. You're watching the U Sports Final 8 women's basketball gold medal matchup. It's the 1 seed versus the 2 seed, Saskatchewan versus Carleton on CBC Sports.
True patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée de plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Let's take a look now at the starting lineups for both these teams, the OUA champion Carleton
Introducing
Ravens.
first the starting lineup for the Carleton
No changes from the semifinal win yesterday. Will be number 4, Callie Pockernick. Number 6, Tatiana Burke. Number 7, Dorcas Buisa. Number 11, Kayana Jade Poulin. And number 22, Jacqueline Urban. Kira, I will start with you. What is the key to victory for this Carleton team tonight?
Number 7,
Their defense, for sure. They have to be disruptive like they've been all week, like they've been all season. Their ball pressure is so tough to deal with, and Saskatchewan has such composure and moves the ball so well. If they're able to disrupt that, get touches on defense, and just upset the rhythm of the Saskatchewan Huskies offense, it's going to bode very well. And then winning the rebounding battle here tonight is going to be huge.
Doug, if the Ravens want to go back-to-back, what do they have to do tonight?
Well, I think one key for them is run, because Saskatchewan had to grind out a victory against Laval. We'll see if fatigue is a factor. If I'm Carleton, I'm trying to push the pace early and just see if he can get on the Huskies a little bit.
And the starting 5 for the Canada West champion Saskatchewan Huskies: Carly Ahlstrom, number 3, number 4, Taya Damong, number 5, Gage Grasick, number 7, Andrea Dodig, and number 15, Courtney Primo. Kira, the Huskies want to win their 3rd national championship. What do they have to do tonight?
They really need to control Carleton's attack. With their Queens matchup yesterday, it was just downhill, all into the middle of the paint. And Saskatchewan's got to be able to collapse in, help each other out, and really, like, Carleton's percentage is really high from beyond the arc. But they don't like to shoot them. They have they don't put up shots from beyond the arc, and so if they're gonna force something, that's what they want to try and force. And so really keeping them out of the paint and then keeping them off the glass. Carleton is such a good offensively rebounding team that they need to hit a body and they need to keep them out of there.
Doug, the very first game we did this season involved the Saskatchewan Huskies. The very last game we're doing this season involved them. If they want to win their 3rd natty, what do they have to do?
Be as poised as we've seen them right from that first game. They were down most of that game against Alberta. The 4th quarter, they just slowly took it over. Last night down 16-2 early. There was absolutely no panic. It was like it was a game in September, the way they were reacting, just so poised. And against the way Carleton plays defense, as Kira alluded to, that poise, that patience will be crucial. If they can be that team tonight,
Ravens.
It'll put them in a pretty good spot.
Huskies.
We thank you wherever you're tuning
right
in
now.
Canada for this Women's National Championship. Let's do it. It's the Huskies, it's the Ravens. Gold medal is on the line, and we are underway. The tip is controlled by Saskatchewan. Gage Grassick played all 40 minutes in that semifinal last night. Moves to her left. Draws contact, and a foul called 15 seconds in against the Ravens.
I think that's going to be a huge key here too. Carleton is so aggressive, and depending on the reffing, whether you know what they're going to get away with, how aggressive they're going to allow them to be, is really going to dictate how this game is going to go as well.
Gage Grassick at the line. First one rattles in, and Saskatchewan draws first blood. And Grassick goes 2 for 2. And a picture-perfect start for Saskatchewan. It's the immovable object versus the unstoppable force. 1 seed versus 2 seed. In the corner, Urban zips it out. Pockernick finds Poulin. Her 3 doesn't rattle home. While Urban in perfect position for the offensive rebound.
And the
We're tied at 2.
points, number 22, Jacqueline Urban.
Ahlstrom finds Dodig. Dodig,
Oh,
nice pass to
beautiful.
Primo. What a pass, what a finish. Ooh, beautiful looking basketball there by the Huskies. Pockernick. At 22 points last night in the semi. Only about 25 minutes too. Poulin drives in paint. Good defense there by DeMong. Out of bounds. Carleton's gonna have 6 seconds. Inbound. Urban to Burke to Poulin. 2. They got a fire. Pockernick spins, fires off the side of the backboard. Stingy defense shown by Saskatchewan. Here comes Dodig. She hands it off. Grassick, a long 3-pointer is good. Gage Grassick has 5 points early on in this one. First 3-pointer of the game.
Well, fatigue 40 minutes apparently that's not an issue right now for Gage Grassick. Hot start for her.
Running on fumes at this point, the end of a long weekend for both teams. Poulin fires it over to Buisa. Buisa off the glass, doesn't fall, however, she is fouled and she will go to the line to shoot 2.
Kira talked about it in the opening that for Carleton, they shoot a high percentage, 4th best in the nation, but they're 45th out of 48 teams in the country in terms of a 3-point attempts. So as Kira said, they don't like to shoot it. They got a lot of those looks that we just saw from Buisa last night. Attack the paint. Queens did not have an answer. That mid-range game absolutely killed them yesterday. Saskatchewan, I think, a better defensive team. Can they take that away from Carleton here tonight? Force them to become a long-range shooting team.
Yeah, even though it's a high percentage, it's not their game,
No.
right? So force them out of their game by being able to pack the paint a bit and shoot it. Let's see if you can beat us by hitting some threes.
Ahlstrom can't get that layup to fall, and good job there to not foul Poulin, and here come the Ravens. Poulin, head up, puts it on the floor to Burke. Nice pass, nice finish, and Carleton strikes back. It's a 7-6 Husky lead.
I like what Carleton's doing. Again, push it right away. As soon as they have control of the board, just get up the floor. And they beat Saskatchewan down for the easy 2.
Primo finds Dodig in motion, and that goes out of bounds, and it will be Carleton ball with 7:37 remaining in the first.
I think I'll mention we thought we might see the matchup Grassick on Pockernick. Well, they've got Dodig on Pockernick right now, so.
Team efforts.
Yeah.
Pockernick, first team conference all-star. Can really do it all for this Raven team. Buisa. Shot doesn't fall. And foul.
That's going to be 2 on Grassick.
So foul trouble early.
Yeah, that's
Number 5.
unfortunate. Just a little bit off balance, got bumped.
No movement from the Husky bench. So they'll leave Grassick in for the moment.
Carleton pulls ahead. They lead 8-7 early in this first quarter. Gold medal on the line.
Here, Lisa talking to Grasick, telling her to switch the matchup, leaving her on the floor with confidence, just giving her maybe a little bit less of a defensive matchup.
DeMong. Burke playing inside DeMong's uniform, not giving her an inch. She fights, can't get it. Primo. DeMong somehow ends up with it. Primo now up and under. What an effort by Courtney Primo to put the Huskies back on top.
Lots of contact, super physical under there.
Very physical, and Carleton getting a little bit of a dose of their own medicine. That's how they play on the glass in Saskatchewan, doing the same.
And Primo's, nice touch. I mean, that's why she leads the country in field goal percentage, but my goodness, that was nice.
Yeah, that was a difficult one. Lots of contact all over in Saskatchewan now as Dodig across half to DeMong. They play give and go. Dodig gets to the baseline, stops, spins. What a move by Dodig. What a finish. And Saskatchewan opens up a 3-point lead. Poulin to Pockernick. Pockernick. Floater in the lane. Tough shot doesn't go. Primo rips that board down.
You hit it, Mark. Tough shot. That didn't happen as much last night against Queens, so Saskatchewan already in the early moments doing a better job taking away that mid-range game or making it more difficult.
Primo is fouled as she tried to heave that up. It looks like Buisa was the guilty party.
Well, good awareness getting that shot up, too, to send her to the line.
That will send Courtney Primo to the line, her first trip. As Gage Grasick takes the seat for the Huskies as Logan Reeder checks in. Buisa will take a quick breather as Teresa Donato checks in for Carleton. Really good pace in the first 4 minutes of this one.
And a bit of a tough break for Buisa. Primo actually double clutched that one down low. Buisa kind of ran through her, but if she's able just to slow up, I mean, the size mismatch would have been a challenge, but ended up going right through Primo even as she didn't have easy control of the ball.
Misses her second attempt, and Carleton in excellent position for the rebound, and here comes Poulin to Pockernick. Pockernick, strong pass in the corner, Donato. Being watched by Reeder, spins, puts her in a blender off the backboard. Too strong, Primo there for the rebound. She's already got 4 early on in this one. Dodig. Finds Primo, that was poked by Duvnak. Dodig gets it back, 8 to go in the shot clock. Driving, runs into 3 white jerseys, misses the shot, and here comes Donato with her head up. 2 Ravens against 2 Huskies. Pulls up from the Can West logo, too strong, and DeMong comes crashing in. And a foul called, Teresa Donato. And a timeout called, 5:17 left in the first quarter. Saskatchewan leads 12-8. You're watching the gold medal matchup, U Sports Final 8 Women's Basketball Championship on CBC Sports.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Welcome back inside the Saville Community Sports Center. Gold medal matchup between the Huskies and the Ravens. Saskatchewan leads 12-8, 5:17 remaining. And Kira, that was a very exciting first 4 minutes and change.
Oh, so competitive. I love watching it. Like every ball, like there are bodies hitting the floor everywhere. It's such a good pace. It's exactly what I was hoping it was going to be.
As we had a chance to catch our breath, we're back underway midway through the first. And look at this pressure shown by Carleton.
especially with Grasick off the floor.
Not letting anything come easy to the Huskies as Ella Murphy-Weep. I thought it's been really important for this Husky team this tournament. DeMong to Reeder in the corner. Dodig, 6 to go in the shot clock. Dodig spins from the U Sports logo. Too strong, a rebound grab by Poulin, and here comes Carleton. Poulin to her left, up, off the glass and in. Nice looking shot there by Kiana Jade Poulin. Cuts that lead to 2.
A nice little hesitation at the free throw line. Just froze her defender momentarily.
Dodig to Ahlstrom. Ahlstrom playing her last U Sports game tonight, going out with a bang. Hopefully that shot off the mark. Poulin.
Daring her to take that shot.
Donato. Nice little jump shot falls. And we're deadlocked at 12.
Yeah, you can see Danny Sinclair every time they get possession of the defensive board. She just wants them to go, just push it right away.
Murphy-Weeb to Ahlstrom. Being watched by Poulin. Ahlstrom drives to her left, too strong. Tipped out of bounds, is going to remain Saskatchewan ball. As Jacqueline Urban checks back in for Carleton, and as does Gage Grasick. So Grasick with 2 fouls. We'll keep our eyes on that as the game continues to evolve.
7th all-time meeting between these two teams. Saskatchewan leads 4-2. Last meeting was in the quarterfinal, the Final 8 back in 2020. Saskatchewan won that one 73-59 on their way to a national championship. And they met as well previously in the national final in 2018. That one went to Carleton, winning their first national championship 69-48.
Reeder. Nice pass as DeMong can't finish, but she gets her own rebound, rips it down, loses it. Poulin with her head up with speed. To Pockernick, poke loose.
Good defense.
As Reeder gets back, ties it up, and it's going to remain a Ravens ball. Quick substitution here for Saskatchewan. Reeder will take a seat as Maya Flindell checks in. 18 to go on the shot clock, 3:38 remaining in the first, tied at 12. Pockernick for 3. It's too strong. Grasick with the rebound, and the Huskies looking to take the lead. Ahlstrom, a long 3-pointer, that's going to be short, and Donato does a good job, just let that float out of bounds, and it will be Carleton ball with 3:20 remaining in the first.
So Grasick comes back in with those 2 fouls.
Buisa spins, fires, too strong, tipped right to Urban. Urban tries to back down Primo, fires it back to Buisa. And a foul is called. Foul number 1 against Carly Ahlstrom. Ahlstrom, I mentioned, had 27 points in that semifinal last night.
Buisa so tough to stop on those downhill attacks, and even when she's not getting to the rim, she's just so dangerous in there because they rebound so well. So if she's not finishing, someone's cleaning it up. Can't let her get so deep.
Buisa driving.
Speak of the devil.
What a play there by Dorcas Buisa. And Carleton ahead by 2.
Yeah, earlier on in this quarter, Saskatchewan doing a good job not allowing them to get quite so deep, but now that quickness off the dribble of Carleton starting to open up some looks.
Oh,
nice dish there, but good defense by Carleton, preventing any type of offense by Saskatchewan. Flindell gets bumped, no foul called, and here comes Buisa. Across half for Carleton. Driving, spins, fadeaway. Too strong, Urban with the rebound, puts on the floor. Fadeaway herself goes, and Carleton's opened up a 4-point lead. Grasick to Ahlstrom. Ahlstrom tries to find Primo, deflected out of bounds, and will remain Saskatchewan ball. We mentioned in the pregame show, Saskatchewan was down 16-2 at one point yesterday in the first quarter and showed no panic. down 16-12 with 2:05 remaining in the first.
One of the things that impresses me with Primo as well, and I think this has a lot to do with why she's a 60% field goal percentage shooter, is her positioning. She moves so well off their penetration. She's sliding in, sealing, getting herself in really good positions for dump downs.
Read perfectly there by Burke on the inbounds, and Pockernick, and now there's every player hit the floor. I think I counted 3 or 4 for each team. Thankfully, no injuries.
Well, and it looked like if there wasn't a collision, it looked like a near one between teammates Ahlstrom and Flindell.
Every possession is so important. I love seeing that.
Under 2 minutes remaining in the first. Grasick to her left, watched by Boisa. Grasick, shot's not going to count, however the foul will count.
Yeah, she got away with one a bit earlier than that and then bumped her a second time.
You can usually get away with one, but you can't get away with 2.
Can't break the law while you're breaking the law.
That'll be the second on Buisa, so she'll take a seat. One of 3 returning players from that Final 8 matchup between these two teams in 2018. Ahlstrom, the only Husky remaining on the roster, played in that game.
Flindell in traffic, tries to find Primo, and kind of does, but ends up being tied up with Duvnak. So physical brand of basketball played in the first quarter. Reeder checks back in as Flindell takes a seat. Tatiana Burke to inbound. Second team conference all-star in the regular season, averaging just over 10 points a game and just under 8 rebounds per game. Ahlstrom also takes a seat for Saskatchewan. Carleton leading by 4, 90 seconds remaining.
It's a tough matchup.
Ooh, yeah, I mean, there's the chess match for Lisa Tomaitis. Do you stay big with Primo in the game? We didn't see that as much last night, but
a 3 off the mark. Poulin controls the rebound, and Carleton now. Poulin, nice dish to Donato. Donato on the baseline looking for help, finds the leg of a Husky, so they will get to inbound.
And now we'll see what we saw now we'll see a little more what we saw last night with Murphy Weeb checking in as to provide a little bit of that size, but maybe a little more quickness.
Donato drives aggressively and draws the foul. So good heads up play there by Teresa Donato to draw the foul, and she will go to the line to shoot 2.
Donato, third-year player out of Ottawa, hits the first, led them as a 79% free throw shooter during the regular season.
Misses her second. Rebound controlled by Saskatchewan. Grasick with a lane, she takes it. And she makes no mistake finishing. Grasick has 7. Bit of a defensive breakdown there by the Ravens, allowing that lane to come so easy for Grasick. Pockernick looking for a response.
Oh.
Too soft, and here comes Saskatchewan now. Reeder with her head up, finds Grasick in motion. Gage for 3. That misses to the left. Donato with the rebound. 30 seconds remaining in the first. Pockernick. That goes. Callie Pockernick.
It's just so quick. The
So
ball's up
quick.
the floor, one pass, one dribble, pull up, and you're the Huskies, you're going back the other way.
Yeah, help side there, it didn't matter because she just pulled up so quickly and got that shot off.
Reeder for 3. Too strong. Murphy Weeb can't get the rebound. Burke, Ravens are going to have to move now. Pockernick, 2-1 from half court. Falls short, and after the first quarter, the Carleton Ravens find themselves out in front. 19-14, an excellent first quarter of the gold medal matchup.
Yeah, just back and forth, two teams that know what their styles are, and they're kind of putting it on display here. Carleton pushing the pace, Huskies, they'll play lots of different styles, so they know that versatility can play a role. So it's been an interesting matchup here through the first 10.
Weaver going to throw it now down to the floor for a check presentation. Shoot for the Cure is a great initiative. Let's throw it to our PA announcer for a special check presentation.
Recruitment coordinator of Wheels of Hope from the Canadian Cancer Foundation to center court for a very special presentation. In 2007, the Women's Basketball Coaches Association started the Shoot for the Cure initiative to raise funds and awareness for the fight against breast cancer. It is now in its 17th year, and this nationwide initiative has raised over $1.85 million in donations. This year, we are so pleased to announce the U Sports women's basketball schools together have raised over $107,000. Some of these funds were donated to the local cancer groups or hospitals, but the majority of the money is donated to the Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation. We are pleased to present Mr. Khan with a check in the amount of $82,500 for the Canadian Cancer Society. Please join me in congratulating Catherine, Isabel, Robin, Mark, and everyone who helped make this 2024 a success. Shoot for the Cure.
Shoot for the Cure night is always one of my favorite nights here at the Saville Community Sports Center, so nice to see the recognition. As we play our last basketball game of the season, it's hard to believe this is our last one, but we've been treated to quite the first quarter. Kira, 19-14 Carleton lead. What jumps out to you through 10 minutes?
Shooting percentage first off. Saskatchewan not shooting nearly as well as they normally do from the field or from the three. They're 1 for 5 from three, and also the distribution of points, it's been heavily Grasic with 7, and then Primo as well, I think, with 5. So a few of the weapons that Saskatchewan has, still, no points on the board, and you think that's going to even out as this game goes on.
Doug, what's Saskatchewan got to do to get themselves back into this one?
It's a lot of the same. I think just continue to be patient. They got on the dribble penetration. They have to do a better job making those mid-range shots tougher as Grasic hits, speaking of tough shots. Because again, Carleton just plays so quickly that it can be very difficult defensively to manage it.
Grasic has 9. As the Ravens look for a response, Donato's 3 is good. Teresa Donato hits the first three-pointer of the game for the Ravens. They lead 22-16.
33% during the regular season. Mentioned they are 4th best in the country percentage-wise.
Reeder bumped from behind as Kiana Jade Poulin picks up her first foul of this championship affair.
That's one of the things that, Carleton's defense is so aggressive, but sometimes it's high risk, high reward, right? And as I talked before, depending on how the game is going to get called, sometimes you get away with being a bit more physical. And when you play a style of defense like they do, it really can impact the game. So it's interesting seeing how it's being called early.
Grasic center defender flying. Gage has 11. Donato fakes a 3, takes a couple steps inside. That one comes up short. And Grasic steps out of bounds, so they're going to give it right back to Carleton.
Yeah, Grasic was actually out of bounds and then jumped back and played, but never fully re-entered the floor. So that's why the call was made.
Unfortunate break for the Huskies, down by 4. Jacqueline Urban. Donato. Donato's already had a bigger impact tonight than I believe she did last night in the semifinals. A really nice touch there by Poulin. Making it look easy out there.
So athletic.
Grasic. Reeder. Fires it over to Dodig. Her three-pointer is good. Andrea Dodig for 3.
There's that patience we talked about in the opening. Just you don't have to play at the pace Carleton wants you to. And on that possession, at least, Saskatchewan able to make that extra pass, find the open shooter.
Pockernick misses that one, and here comes Saskatchewan. DeMong with her head up, gives it to Grasick. Murphy-Wiebe calling for it, gives it back to Grasick, moves to her right for three. Misses to the left and out of bounds. It will be Carleton ball with 7:38 remaining in the second.
I love the demeanor of Grasick there too. Just gave her a second, gave a slap, you know, upset that she missed that, and then just a little shoulder shimmy, and she's back in it. Short memory.
Is that your move, the shoulder shimmy?
No, but it's going to be now, I think.
Urban.
Kevin Durant.
Spins in the paint. Nice play there by Jacqueline Urban. She's got 6, all from within 2 or 3 feet of the hoop.
Great touch for the 2023 U Sport Rookie of the Year.
Ahlstrom gets bumped by Donato, so it's foul number 2 on Donato.
The nice thing for Carleton is they've been able to maintain this lead without Brisa on the floor in a little bit of foul trouble, so they've been able to send them in waves even without her.
Duvnak checks back in for Carleton. As Ella Murphy-Wiebe fires a dart to Taya DeMong.
Oh, too late.
Read perfectly by Poulin. It's 2-on-1. Poulin and Burke 1-on-1. Nice bounce pass. DeMong defended that perfectly. Duvnak fights with Grasick. And it's going to remain Carleton ball on the tie-up. .7:02 remaining in the second quarter. Urban to inbound. Burke. Poulin. Driving, left hand. Shot no good, but she's able to draw a foul. That's foul number 2 on Taya DeMong. So a couple important guards for the Huskies with 2 fouls. First one falls. Gets her second. 7-point advantage for the Ravens. Dodig. Being watched by Burke. Great angle there by Burke to cut off Dodig. Looking for help, finds Grasick. Thought about a 3, takes a couple steps in the paint. Draws a foul, and that's going to send Grasick back to the line.
Get a look at it here. It's a good decision. That lane opens up. She goes right at Pockernick. Picks up her first foul, and that will send Grasick to the line. 75% shooter in the regular season. Native of Prince Albert, Saskatchewan.
Two for 2. Makes it 4 for 4 on the night. 5-point Carleton advantage. Pockernick. Moves to her right, looking for help. Moves left with speed. Spins. Nice pass to Urban. Urban spins, fires. Wayward shot doesn't go. Grasick there for the rebound. Looks for help.
Well, a little bit of a scary matchup there. Grasick with 2, and then Urban with the size advantage in the paint. So Grasick, good job being able to defend and not foul.
DeMong for 3. That's going to be too strong. Tipped, kept in bounds. Ahlstrom to Grasick. Thought about a 3, then zips it over to DeMong. She's going to try one. That's going to be short. Dodig there for the rebound. No foul called. Murphy-Wiebe fighting with Pockernick. And it's going to remain Husky ball on the tie-up. Timeout called. 5:55 remaining in the second quarter. Carleton leads 28-23. You're watching the gold medal matchup between the Huskies and the Ravens, the U Sports Final 8 Women's Basketball Championship on CBC Sports.
one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
The Carleton Ravens lead by 5 with just under 6 minutes remaining in the first half, and what's been a back and forth affair for U Sports Gold. Grasick is 13 points, and she finds Ahlstrom for 3. Too strong. And a foul called. Ella Murphy-Weed, the guilty party. That'll be her first. Fans disagree as it's a rather pro-Saskatchewan crowd. Puckernick turns on the Jets. Nice touch there by Callie Puckernick.
So quick.
4 points on the night for her. Made that one look real easy and opened up a 7-point advantage for the Ravens.
I can hear all my past coaches saying, stop the ball, but it's just not that easy to do against Puckernick.
Ahlstrom's 3 doesn't go, however, deflected out of bounds, so Saskatchewan will retain possession. Grasick finds Ahlstrom. Ahlstrom fouled by Poulin. Foul number 2 on Kiana Jade Poulin, and that will send Carly Ahlstrom to the line.
Well, one of the things, like, Ahlstrom offensively has been very quiet. You don't want to be sending her to the line to help find her shot, right? Like, they haven't been shooting the 3 very well, and one of the last things you want to do is send them to the line so they can watch the ball go in, feel it off the fingers, and find their rhythm. So if you're Carleton, you want to keep her away from there, but good on Ahlstrom for going strong.
Well, that's a good point, because I think it can be easy against a team like Carleton. We'll let this play finish. It can be easy for against a team like Carleton to kind of become a little hesitant to dribble into the paint, but Ahlstrom there, like you said, Kira, just put her head, I'm going to go, kept the feet moving, knowing they're going to be glued to you, and you're going to start to draw some fouls and get yourself some trips to the line.
And a foul called. Andrea Dodig picks up her first. I think a bit of a sigh of relief that for Saskatchewan that wasn't Gage Grasick. She was near the action. But both these teams playing a high octane brand of basketball. It's been a thrill to watch so far through a quarter and a half. Callie Puckernick. So quick to her left. Now to her right. Bumped, spins, finds Burke for 3. That's a nice looking shot by Tatiana Burke. 33-25, Carleton leads. Grasick, Ahlstrom. Ahlstrom can't get the touch lane. Primo fights for it, runs into Urban. And Primo with foul number 1.
Very good. Look quickly at Lisa Tomaitis there, Danny Sinclair. Of course, these two coaches would be familiar with each other. Tomaitis, 26 years at Saskatchewan. Of course, the years for Sinclair at the University of Victoria.
Puckernick runs right into 2 green jerseys and travels. So a good job there by Saskatchewan to create that turnover.
That supportive defense is going to be so important in slowing this Carleton offense.
Grasick directing traffic across half. Grasick with speed, drives, makes a defender go flying by. Really nice patience there by Gage Grasick. Timeout called by the Ravens. 3:56 remaining in the first half. It's a 33-27 advantage for Carleton.
I don't read lips very well, but I read Lisa Tomaitis' after that bucket from Grasick, and it was basically, I think she can do that every time. So again, a little bit of Carleton's own medicine on them and do a good job. Just drive at the defender, get them in the air, and those quick little looks from 2 feet. But interesting too, the switch now, Grasick now bringing the ball up was Dodig early. Now they've got the ball back in Grasick's hands.
Well, and having Ahlstrom set that screen is so dangerous too, right? Because she can pop and hit that three. If there's a switch, she's got a size advantage inside. So it really makes that difficult to guard that if you're the Carleton defense, because it's such a size mismatch if you switch, and she's such a threat from outside.
Saskatchewan not shooting the ball particularly well through the first 16 minutes, just 33%, 2 for 11 from 3. Just 5 attempts from 3 for Carleton. However, where it matters, they're up by 6.
And on brand for Carleton though, like, are they 2 for 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, not shooting many, but.
No. They don't need to.
But it's playing out to some of the number. I mean, the Huskies, third best in the nation in terms of field goal percentage, 44%, so well below that. But they're also facing the second best team in Carleton in the country in defensive field goal percentage. They just gave up 31% a game, so not giving up a ton, and that's playing out here in this first half.
Under 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Pockernick with speed, being watched by Grasick. Poulin for 3. That's going to come up a little bit short as Dodig battles with Duvnak. And the Huskies will get possession down by 6. Dodig, look at this pressure here by Carleton. Not letting anything come easy. Grasick surveying the scene. Ahlstrom's calling for it. Grasick spins, 3, rise, fires, misses to the right. Primo's the only green jersey left, and a foul called. It looks like that was Burke. And it is Burke. Tatiana picks up foul number 1.
That stung, I think. She landed right on that left elbow. Or sorry, the right elbow. The left is the one that has the tape on her hand.
One of the things I love to see from both of these teams is when they're meeting together and speaking with one another, they're holding each other accountable, and it's intense, but everybody's making eye contact, giving high fives. They know what needs to be said, what needs to be heard, and that they're in it together. But I really love the intensity, but also that, there's a response that's positive from their teammates.
Primo goes 2 for 2. And Kerry made the point earlier, Saskatchewan shooting well. You don't want to tempt them and give them free throws like that, allow them to shoot themselves back into this game. As Burke puts it on the floor to Urban. She takes a tumble. Grasick ends up with it. Here comes Saskatchewan, 2 against 1. Dodig,
nice
what
play.
a pass by Grasick. Dodig can't finish. And Urban is down at the other end. Completely missed what happened at the other end as she is in some discomfort.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us saw that, and we're looking up the floor. You'll see Urban
played that perfectly too.
And Urban just a little bit strong. Oftentimes you're going up expecting some contact to come. You adjust midair, but
too open.
Urban's able to get up with the assistance of the athletic therapist, but not able to put a ton of weight. She's walking off under her own power. But she looks like she's in some discomfort.
Hopefully just a little bit of attention and she'll be back in this game.
Oh, a non-contact too, grabbing that right leg. You hate to see that.
we'll keep an eye on that, and of course, hopefully, she might have knocked knees a little bit. That can obviously sting.
Yeah, it seemed very strange.
Yeah.
I didn't really know. I was wondering if maybe she pulled a muscle out. I don't know.
And we'll keep an eye. Obviously a huge part of this Raven team, averaging 25 minutes a game, leads them in rebounds, just over 8 per game during the regular season.
And Kira, you mentioned a couple times this week, and as Poulin's 3 drops, everyone is playing with something right now. If you're at 80%, you're at 100% right now. This is the end of the road for both teams. 36-29, Carleton leads. Grasick weaves through traffic. Puts it on the floor, gets it right back. Nice step through. Gets the hoop, gets the harm, and Gage Grasick with 17 points.
Oh my goodness.
Looking to make it 18, playing an inspired first half here in the championship game.
And at least half of that with those 2 fouls, so she picked up in the first 3 minutes.
Points. 4-point advantage for Carleton. Buckernick. Donato, corner 3. No good. Tipped right into the hands of Grasick. Has her head up as she crosses center. Grasick. Ahlstrom for 3. That's going to miss. Can she get her own rebound? She does. Grasick's played 14 minutes so far with 2 fouls and a travel. Primo shuffled her feet. And the fans in attendance disagree.
And a flop warning issued to Callie Pockernick.
Under 2 minutes remaining in the half. Carleton with a 4-point advantage. Donato to Pockernick. Goes right into traffic. That's a tough shot. Doesn't fall. Ball hits the. How many times have we seen players just diving for loose balls? You can tell both teams leaving it all out on the floor. There is no tomorrow for either of these teams. Well, they're certainly playing like it.
Among the many things you like about how Carleton plays, I just love how they keep balls alive, just tipping balls, and they didn't have a clean shot at a rebound, but the ball's just kept alive, and how many extra possessions they get just because of that.
Well, we talked a little bit about this yesterday in that semifinals, but like Carleton, you know, an unbelievably good offensively rebounding team, and rebounding is a mentality, and it's, you know, obviously them being so long and athletic helps.
DeMong, as the shot clock expires, gets that to drop, and it's just a 2-point advantage for Carleton.
But it's a mentality, and getting those tips, you know, you're going after it with the understanding that you might not be the one coming up with it, right? You're just getting tips to get your teammates some looks, and it's a gritty mentality.
Donato shot short, and Saskatchewan now with a chance to tie or take the lead. Under a minute remaining here in the second quarter. Grasick, 18 points so far, finds Ahlstrom. Ahlstrom lays it in, and the foul. It's going to be an offensive foul. So a bit of a break there for Carleton.
Now the question is whether she released the shot before the contact.
She did.
So I think that was the debate, whether or not the bucket should count and the foul.
Timeout called by Carleton with 42.2 seconds left. That was a very close play. Bang, bang play at the one end. Saskatchewan had a chance to tie or take the lead. I'll take another look at it right here.
She comes downhill on that pass.
She definitely released it, but such a tough, like it's so much easier for us to see it on a slow-mo replay, but she definitely got that off before the contact was made. That's unfortunate.
But a great play by Burke. Burke was set. I mean, that's absolutely a charge. She stepped in late, and that's so hard to do, to step in late and get your feet set to try to draw that. Heck of a job by Burke.
Not to mention brave.
That too. When you see Carly Ahlstrom coming at you, I'm not sure my first instinct is to stand in there. But Burke, again, one of the veterans on this team. Third-year player out of Winona, Ontario. OUA second-team All-Star. Of course, many All-Stars conference and U Sports All-Stars on both these rosters.
At times it feels like an all-star game out there, how much talent it is. Of course, the number 1 seed Saskatchewan Huskies, number 2 seed Carleton Ravens, reigning Canada West champions, reigning OUA champions. Carleton, reigning U Sports national champions, winning last year.
It's funny, every time I watch their timeouts go so long, and there's multiple warnings from the refs every time, and that's how I feel. So I wonder if that's something that I adopted from Lisa, the lengthy timeouts with all the warnings.
Yeah, we're coming. It's okay.
Yeah, just give me a sec.
42.2 remaining in the half. Carleton leads by 2 in what's been a back and forth affair. Pockernick with speed to Donato. Donato, floater, gets the friendly bounce and drops Teresa Donato. 8 points on the night. Dodig to Grasic.
This Carleton team just has nightmare matchups, so quick, and they just get those shots off so fast.
Grasic, 8 to go. Alstrom, long three-pointer is good. Her first points of the game make this a 1-point game. Ravens have to move quickly. Burke, 2, 1, up, and is fouled with 0.7 seconds remaining.
Now, is this going to be on Murphy Weeb or on Grasic? They're going to get it to Murphy Weeb. That's still her second, but that was close because that could have been Grasic who was in the line of fire. Great job by Burke to just explode up the floor.
Burke misses her first attempt.
Just a 54% free throw shooter. In fact, she's 4th in the country in field goal percentage. Shoots that. She's at 54% there too.
And that will do it at the half. Carleton has a 39-37 advantage over Saskatchewan. What a half of basketball that was. Doug, as we take a look at some of the stats through the first half, Saskatchewan still struggling to shoot the ball. That's what jumps out to me. What's jumping out to you?
Yeah, as I quickly look, it kind of stretched late in the half. Rebounding numbers right now, 27-19 in favor of the Huskies, 12-6 on the offensive boards. That was much closer halfway through the second quarter. That's something to watch. Again, we talk about how good a rebounding team Carleton is. Number 1 in the country in rebound margin of +16, but the size of the Huskies, I think, starting to play a little bit of a factor here against a smaller Carleton. Smaller but very assertive, and as Kira mentioned, they're a good rebounding team despite size, but right now that's maybe an issue for the Ravens.
Kira, it's a 2-point game, and this might be a goofy comment. It feels like a 2-point game. What's jumping out to you through 2 quarters?
I mean, similar to what Doug said, the shooting of the Huskies is definitely below average from what they normally do, so I'm expecting that that's going to pick up as the game goes on. And then I look at the scoring distribution as well. Like Grasic with a very impressive 18, but then, the other weapons of Saskatchewan that, contribute very consistently really haven't been putting points on the board yet. And I think that's also something that plays in Saskatchewan's favor because that Carly Alstrom is going to score. And she hit that three-pointer, and that she's going to get her fill of points by the end of the game, just if, you go by numbers. And then other than that, the turnovers of Saskatchewan a bit higher than average as well. They got 9 in that first half, and I think they normally average about 14. So on pace for closer to 20, and I think taking care of the ball against this really aggressive Carleton defense and kind of reducing the amount of turnovers, going to be a big factor in the second half.
39-37, the Carleton Ravens lead the Saskatchewan Huskies at halftime. I'm Mark Majot. Please be joined by Kira Lyons and Doug McLean. What a half of basketball. Lucky for you, we have 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a quick 10-minute pause. Be back to get you set with the second half between the Ravens and Huskies. You're watching the U Sports Final 8 women's basketball gold medal matchup on CBC Sports.
is that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire, le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi, when you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
Welcome back to the Saville Community Sports Center. What was an excellent first half in our gold medal matchup between the Carleton Ravens and the Saskatchewan Huskies. Carleton find themselves out in front 39-37. Before we dive into the second half, we just want to take a moment to say thank you to our incredibly hardworking crew that has made this weekend possible. We might miss some names, but I do want to make sure we get as many as we possibly can. Producer Scott Wolosian, Paul, who's been working the replays, Dan, who's been working the music, our wonderful camera operators. We have Tyson, Chance, Dave, Rudy, Julian, Josh, Karma, Edgeman, Ryan, our in-house director, Dalen Livingston, our executive director, Brad Hamilton, who has also been a big part of our U of A broadcast all season long. Connor Hood, want to give a shout out to him, sports information officer here at the University of Alberta. Dave Drabuke has filled in a couple times this year on the broadcast booth. I want to thank Eric Fawcett, who did the bronze medal game with us. I want to give a big shout out to Kira. Kira, it's been wonderful working with you. You've added such a fun element to this broadcast booth this weekend, so thank you very much for joining us. And I want to give a shout out to our French broadcast just to our left, Mamadou Gay, a former University of Alberta Golden Bear, and my former junior high basketball coach, Michelle Biello, doing the French broadcast. They've been doing excellent work, and this is my 8th season working broadcast here at the U of A, and working with Doug has been an absolute pleasure. I don't have the words to describe what it means to work with Doug, but his attention to detail, his passion for U Sports basketball comes through in every single broadcast. And I was trying to think about what sums up Doug, and I think back to Thursday night when they were honoring the 1999 Pandas national team. I said, just kind of threw away, oh, Doug, what do you remember about this team? And I expected maybe one or two things. And Doug essentially told us what they had for breakfast the morning of the national game. So, Doug, I love working with you. I appreciate how much intelligence and insight you bring to this broadcast. Thank you so much for everything.
Well, Mark, you're far too kind, and the thanks should be from me for all the work that you do to lead up to these broadcasts. And I mean, your professionalism as someone that has worked and trained in this industry for so long, and obviously we get the chance to do the U of A games. We get to do U of A football together too now, which is a lot of fun. So, I can't thank you enough, and it's always a pleasure being here on Fridays and Saturdays, getting to call games with you. And you named all the people. I mean, we're just so lucky to be able to do these games, and to be here doing a national final is an added bonus. I mean, it's our second straight Carleton Saskatchewan national final. We did it 2 years ago here on the men's side, so nice to be doing that. And one other name I'll mention who's not here, but Martin Timmerman, who puts an incredible amount of work into his U Sports Hoops website that has so much data and info and background info, the details that we can use. It would be impossible to prepare for these games without all the work that he does. And I know he was at Laval today, and congratulations to the Laval Rouge men's team coming from the 8th seed host, sweeping through the tournament to win the national championship. So lots of thanks, and Kira, thank you to you. I mean, we get to work together every now and again, and it's awesome working with you again here. So super happy you're here on the broadcast with us.
I've had so many nice messages from people, but honestly, working with both of you makes my job so incredibly easy. You are the best in the business. I just show up and get to enjoy the games, and I know that I'm taken care of, and I appreciate both of you very much. And I think this championship tournament is so lucky that you two are working, and so are the Pandas and the Bears. You guys are the best.
Well, thank you very much. We've got 2 more quarters to go this season. And if they're anything like the first 2, we're in for a treat. We are underway. Ravens lead by 2. National championship is on the line. Carly Ahlstrom scored her first points of the game late in that first half, tried to add to it. She misses a shot, and it will be a tie-up, and it will remain Husky ball.
And Urban back out there really taped up, but it's nice to see that she's joining back in the game.
Can you give us 2 more quarters? I'm sure that's probably what was asked. She said national championship on the line. Heck yes. Carly Ahlstrom ties this game at 39.
One of the things that was kind of good news for the Huskies is that, you know, it was such a close game. They're doing lots of really good things, but Carly Ahlstrom hadn't really come alive offensively yet, and you know that she will.
Urban. Poke loose. Buisa back in the game with 2 fouls. And you got the sense Carleton missed her. She hits her first shot. She's got 8 points. It's 41-39.
It's such incredible touch that these Ravens have.
Grasick for 3. Off the mark. Controlled. Here comes Poulin. Ahlstrom watching. Buisa from the U Sports logo. Spins, fires off the glass. Doesn't get the friendly bounce she was hoping for. Primo there for the rebound. Here come the Huskies.
Good defense. Buisa really likes that move, so Grasick getting wise a little bit there.
Dodig stops, fires, too strong. Damon can't get the rebound. Good job there by Buisa. She finds Pockernick in motion. 3-pointer in the corner, doesn't fall. Burke there for the rebound. She cleans it up, puts it back to a 4-point advantage for Carleton. Grasick, game high 18 points. Hoop, harm, and Gage Grasick has a chance for a 3-point play. She's got 20 points, saving it all for the gold medal matchup.
The Ravens will force you left, but that time Grasick just sort of patient, let the lane establish itself. That pop up by Ahlstrom again, distracted, took some eyes away, and Grasick, I love the way, we see it from the Carleton guards too, but I just love the way that good guards, you play quick, but you're not necessarily playing fast. You manage the pace and you manage the game. And
she's always on balance, and that's why that help can't stay there, because they know if they stay, she's going to recognize, she's going to come to 2, she's going to turn and she's going to fire it out to Ahlstrom, who, if she's open like that, most likely going to hit.
Ahlstrom has that poke loose. Pockernick hits the deck, finds Buisa. Buisa picked up her 3rd foul. She's going to remain in the game. Poulin driving, stops. Buisa baseline. Finds Urban, and Grasick with the steal. Grasick's been all over the floor tonight for Saskatchewan. Reeder to Ahlstrom. Thought about a 3. Being watched like a hawk by Burke. Grasick, 7 to go in the shot clock. Drives left. Swings in the corner. Dodig, good ball movement. Reeder, 3. Too strong. Burke with the rebound. Poulin. Pockernick. Corner. 3. Good. Callie Pockernick. A quiet night offensively, but that's a big 3-point shot to put the Ravens up by 4. Reeder looking to answer. A 3 of her own is good. Teams exchanging 3-point shots here.
I love the confidence she shot that with, because she just had one, missed it, but no hesitation from Reeder in the corner.
Pockernick to her right. Floater in the paint, off the glass and in.
God, that's hard to stop.
Callie Pockernick is heating up here in the 3rd. She's got 9.
Well, she averages 24 so far in the playoffs, well above her 15 a game during the regular season, but it is a player who plays well in big games, the finals MVP a year ago.
Ahlstrom, strong pass. And an offensive foul called as Pockernick, we're saying her name a lot in the 3rd quarter, draws that foul, and a timeout called with 5:45 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Carleton Ravens ahead 48-45. You're watching the gold medal matchup, U Sports Final 8 Women's Basketball Championship on CBC Sports.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Welcome back inside a raucous Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton. 5:45 remaining in the third quarter. Carleton has a 3-point advantage. They lead 48-45. It's been a terrific game so far.
In Cali we trust. Well, I would trust a lot in Cali too if it was my choice.
Don't blame you.
Seemed like she's maybe woken up a little bit in the second half, and not to suggest she was sleeping through the first half, as Tatiana Burke gets a nice bucket there, but Pockernick, Doug mentioned, averaging over 20 points so far in the postseason, starting to heat up here in the third. Grasick, Reeder, Dodig for three, misses just to the left, and DeMong and Burke collide. That's going to be number 3 on Taya DeMong.
So DeMong from the weak side just gets that arm up a little bit on the neck of Burke.
Pockernick. Burke. Back to Pockernick for 3. That's going to be short. Out of bounds.
The immediate look to the bench, and my bad.
Yep.
Grasick has 21 points, 4 rebounds and 2 assists. Picked up, Doug mentioned it, picked up 2 quick fouls early, has a bit of a lane. Tough shot, but it falls. When you're hot, and Gage Grasick is feeling it.
Again, that left lane, that left side of the floor left available, and Grasick patient again.
Burke. DeMong, good job not to foul. Lots of contact off the foot of Burke. She gets it back.
Yeah, a little bit scary there. You got 3.
And it looked like bowling pins just tumbling there. It looked like Dodig hit the deck. And Stodig picks up foul number 2. So again, physical basketball being played tonight.
Just fearless play from Pockernick. There's not a huge lane there. She can see where the help's going to come from. And yet no hesitation going hard to the bucket. 73% free throw shooter.
But it's such a tough thing to defend there too. Like, the help side was there and didn't need to foul her, but she can get that shot off so quick that, like, you can't trust that she's actually going to get into the lane that deep, because all of a sudden the shot's gone up before you have any chance to even support.
Yeah, you're right. As a defender, you can't get on your heels thinking that she's going to take it right to the rim, because 2/3 of the time she's not.
Yeah, I mean, that's not really where she wants to go.
No, that's right.
And Murphy Weeb had good position there, but the amount of shots that Pockernick can hit in that little range, in that tiny little pocket.
Ahlstrom wide open for 3. She makes no mistake. 2-point affair. Ahlstrom has 8. It's a 52-50 game. It's been in this 2 to 5 point margin all evening long. Saskatchewan gets close and Carleton has a response. Burke spins, fires back out in the corner. Donato, 3 is short. Urban crashing the boards, and it will be Husky ball.
But it's so interesting to watch Carleton there. You've got Burke just inside the elbow. She's got an open jumper. Ahlstrom didn't come right out on her. But again, they're so confident taking the ball to the rim that they're content to give up a pretty good look to try to get a slightly better one.
Well, it's funny because as that was happening, I was looking at the length of Ahlstrom's arms. It's also like a scary, it looks like it's open, but those arms are long and can come out real quick.
Grasick fakes.
Oh my
puts
goodness.
it on the floor. What a pass. Murphy, we makes no mistake. We're tied at 52. Buisa to Donato. Back to Buisa. Runs right into 3 green jerseys, loses it. 7 seconds to go on the shot clock. Buisa again runs right into 2 green jerseys, read perfectly by Dodig. Donato sprinting back. Dodig can't finish, but she draws the foul. Good heads-up play there by Andrea Dodig, and she'll go to the line looking to give Saskatchewan the lead.
So rare that you'll see the Ravens make a pass like that, kind of back against the grain where you can't see where that lane's going to get jumped.
One of the things that Grasick is doing so well on Buisa, she loves to get into that lane and then spin and shoot that jumper. She has such a nice touch with that move, and Grasick just hasn't been biting on it, right? Knowing that she hasn't been stepping around or doing an extra counter move after that, just straight up understanding that she just needs to stay in good position and contest it or not even give her the option. And the last couple of times Buisa's gotten into the paint, she's done a good job.
Saskatchewan has outscored Carleton by 5 in the 90 seconds that Pockernick has not been on the floor. Urban, her 3 is too strong, and Dodig goes up for it, and she is fouled.
That's on Buisa. That's her 4th.
That's number 4, as Doug mentioned. So something to keep her eyes on in the remaining 12:34 of this one. Both teams with some players in foul trouble. Buisa will take a seat as Tatiana Burke will take her space.
Just swap out one nightmare matchup for another.
Right.
Like
I was just going to say, I mean, you don't want Buisa with 4 fouls if you're Carleton, but hey, we'll just put Burke back on the floor and won't lose a beat.
Grasick, nice touch, 25 points. Saskatchewan leads by 3. Pockernick. To her left. Three-pointer, Burke, too strong. Ahlstrom there for the rebound. Grasick looks to her bench.
Lisa telling her to calm down, slow it down a little bit.
Take a breath has been, if you're a Saskatchewan supporter, you have to be thrilled with the way this third quarter has gone. Ahlstrom, 4 to go in the shot clock. Grasick's gonna have to put something up for 3. Short. Urban, or excuse me, that was Dubnak there for the rebound. She hands it off to Pockernick. 1:30 left in the third. Pockernick with speed, lays it in, misses. Dubnak there to put it back. These two teams just exchanging haymakers. 55-54, Saskatchewan leads.
But even in a case like that, because of Pockernick, she draws so much attention that you end up with the rebounder left wide open because you have to worry about this guard flying at you from all over every spot on the floor.
When they put those rebounds up so quickly too.
I don't know how that didn't fall for Reeder. What a play by Urban, playing on an injured leg. What a play to keep that in bounds, and Pockernick with a chance to put her team back in front. To her left, on the floor to Urban, spins, fires, too strong. Ahlstrom there for the rebound. That's her 5th. Grasick, 40 seconds remaining in the third.
I can't believe there's 40 seconds left in this third. Where did that go?
Grasick, Dodig, back to Grasick for 3. Good! Gage Grasick has 28, 58-54, Saskatchewan leads. Under 20 seconds left. What do the Ravens have up their sleeve? 10 seconds left. Pockernick. What an effort by Jacqueline Urban. Hustling out there on the floor. 4 seconds. Pockernick for 3. That's gonna miss. Urban with the rebound. Doesn't fall. And Saskatchewan pulls ahead in this third quarter. They entered halftime down by 2. And now after 3, they lead by 4. You are watching the gold medal matchup from the U Sports Final 8 Women's Basketball Championship on CBC Sports.
exchange was awesome. Yeah.
You have the power to inspire and impact the planet.
Lisa Tomaitis has to be thrilled with what she saw in that third quarter. Saskatchewan outscored Carleton 21-15. Kira, I see you looking over the box score furiously. What's jumping out to you through three quarters?
I mean, the shot percentage starting to even it out a little bit for the Huskies. It was quite low, especially from three, picking up a little bit. Other than that, like, it's pretty even. Like, Carleton taking care of the ball so well. Only 6 turnovers in this game, and that is just a phenomenal stat. Huskies with 12. And points from turnovers, Carleton really taking advantage of that. They got 13 points to Sask's 5 on those turnovers. But yeah, things really starting to even out a little bit, and what a great game so far.
And Doug, Gage Grasick has 28 points through three quarters. That's more than she had combined in the first 2 games. She is a woman on a mission tonight.
Yeah, so you get a look at what they're playing for, the Bronze Baby Trophy. And yeah, I mean, Grasick just has been absolutely on a mission. I mean, not just scoring, but she's got 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 16 shots taken already by Grasick. But again, both of these teams have that. We talk about Pockernick with Carleton. She's their big scorer, but they've got other weapons, and it's every game is someone different. The Huskies, it's the same thing. Every game, somebody else can step up and put big numbers up. Tonight, it happens to be Gage Grasick.
Well, and one of the keys that I had to this game for the Huskies were winning the rebounding battle, and so far out-rebounding them on the offensive and defensive glass. So really making that a concerted effort and a focus and doing a good job.
Should mention too for Grasick, that equals a career high that she set in the Canada West final against the Alberta Pandas at 28 points.
Pretty good time to have some career highs. 10 minutes to go in this season, and that is blocked by Ahlstrom. Donato gets it back. That's going to be a long 2. It was short. That's Grasick saving her best ball for last. Puts it on the floor to Dodig. 7 to go. Grasick. Nice pass to DeMong in traffic. Can't get the bounce she was looking for. Once again, Jacqueline Urban playing with a heavily taped up right leg. You wouldn't know it. Poulin. Baseline, looks for help, finds Pockernick. To her left. Stolen by Grasick. 2-on-1. Grasick and DeMong going up against Poulin. Grasick fakes left, loses it. Great defensive play there by the Ravens, and here comes Donato. With the left hand, nice play, steal and the score. And Carleton's on the board in the 4th.
All game long, every time they get the ball, they want to push. Do not let Saskatchewan get set defensively, and the Ravens do such a good job getting that initial look from 6 feet.
Grasick finds Dodig. Her 3 is too strong. And Urban looked like she tugged the jersey of Murphy Weave. And she does. That's the guilty party. That's going to be, I believe, her 3rd foul.
She did, yeah. Really slightly, but she did.
Excuse me, that's just her 2nd foul. As we have a late substitution, Logan Reeder going to join the floor, as Taya DeMong will take a seat with 3 fouls. Dodig, nice inbound play to Ahlstrom. And she steps out of bounds. Even in the national championship, that boundary can sneak up on you. Pockernick has a team high 11 points. A balanced attack on offense by the Ravens this evening. Pockernick. And a foul called away from the ball. That's Dodig. So number 3 for Andrea. Something to keep her eyes on with 8:01 left in the fourth. Donato. Duvnak fighting for it. Back to Donato. Pockernick launches a three. No good, and Grasick 6 rebounds. Reader in the corner. Grasick for 3 and a career high. Off the mark, and Dodig tipped that out of bounds, so it will be Carleton ball.
Just to look at fouls, to what you talked about a second ago, Mark. Donato with 3 and Buisa with 4 for Carleton. As Buisa checks back into the game, you got Ahlstrom, Dodig, and DeMong with 3 apiece. Grasick had those 2 in the first 2 minutes, hasn't had one since.
One of the things you got to think about on offense with Buisa out there with 4, you got to go at her, right? Like, can't have fear. We need to be aggressive, go at her, because you know that she's limited.
Callie Pockernick, massive three-point shot, puts the Ravens back in front by 1.
And she's limited in what she can do to defend, and you know, you might get lucky, or you know, she might get caught in a position where she fouls you.
Ahlstrom with contact at the left end. She answers right back. These two teams going shot for shot.
Lisa asking about that contact there, as we just talking about going at Buisa.
Yeah, Buisa, that might have been the 9th life right there.
Yeah.
Pockernick being watched by Murphy Weeb.
I don't hate this matchup, honestly. Anytime she's ended up on her, her length has done really good things. Like Murphy Weeb's ended up on Pockernick, a few times and done a really good job.
Yeah, they'll go late in the shot clock and then just flatten out, open up the floor for Pockernick, because they're so confident, understandably so, in her ability to break down any defender. But you're right, Murphy Weeb has been a really valuable kind of Swiss Army knife throughout this whole tournament for Lisa Tomaitis.
Pockernick, shot clock expiring, gets it up. And she can't go. Murphy Weeb rips that down. And here comes Grasick. Ahlstrom. Dodig, back to Ahlstrom, wide open for 3. She makes no mistake. Ahlstrom saving all her offense for the second half, puts the Huskies up by 4.
What a pass. What a beautiful pass by Dodig there.
Pockernick, 6 minutes remaining. Buisa in the corner, drives, 3 to go in the shot clock. Poulin's got to get something up. And that was as close. No, they're going to call a violation. I thought that was going to be close. And a timeout called. 5:46 remaining in the fourth. Saskatchewan leads by 4. Buckle up, we are in for quite the final in this one.
As we'll take a look at some of the highlights to this game here so far, and again, it has just been a heavyweight battle. And each time both teams have maybe been able to build a bit of a lead, to no surprise, the opposition has pushed back. That last call there, that was close. From my vantage point, I think that was the right call. I don't think she got it off before the shot clock got to 0, but it was awfully close.
It also just shows like how dangerous Carleton is. Like when they want to get to the rim, it is like they just a nightmare to stop.
She got the ball with maybe 3 on the shot clock and got to the rim through 2 green jerseys.
Yeah, like found a lane. Just they're so athletic and long and quick and fast. Like they're just, and there's so many of them like that. It just one-on-one scary matchups. That's why this matchup between the Huskies and Carleton is so interesting, because that's not necessarily how Saskatchewan is, but they play such good team defense that it's I really, really enjoy seeing the juxtaposition of how both of them play.
It has been a back and forth affair. The Huskies lead by 4. I mentioned earlier in this game they were struggling to shoot. They've since improved. They're 41%, but 30% from 3. Saskatchewan's turned the ball over 14 times, and Carleton's been able to get 15 points off those turnovers. Saskatchewan has the rebound advantage by 7.
But really, that's been pretty even. It was that one stretch towards the end of the first half where Saskatchewan just went on a bit of a run on the boards, but since then and before that, it's been a pretty even battle. And that's one thing that we talked about before was that would the size be an issue? It's not an issue. Just the way Carleton plays and what you talked about earlier, Kira, just how good they are keeping balls alive. Size isn't a huge factor because of that mentality you talked about.
Reeder. Grassick. Urban there for the rebound, and here come the Ravens, down by 4. Pockernick. With speed, kicks it out to Urban in the corner for 3. That's going to be short. Murphy Weeb there for the rebound. Every possession so important now. Grassick hands it off to Dodig. Really like Dodig's game tonight. Moving left, jumper, doesn't fall.
I thought you were going to.
Look close.
Would have been perfect timing.
Pockernick. Poulin drives on the baseline, tipped out of bounds by Murphy Weep, so Carleton's going to do it all over again.
Both teams defensively anticipate so well. It's not just the athleticism, it's the film study, it's coaching, knowing where to be.
Poulin. Buisa for 3, that's a massive shot.
Dagger.
Dorcas Buisa makes it a 1-point game. Grassick. Fouled. As bodies all over the place. Poulin hit the floor, as did Grassick. And Poulin's going to get charged with the foul. It's going to be her 3rd, so.
Tied her up.
Right call is made, but.
Yeah, Grassick did a good job, got Poulin on her hip, in behind, and you know, any stumble is almost automatically going to get called.
Grassick. And a game high 28. 6 to go on the shot clock. Reeder for 3. That's going to be short. And Carleton will have a chance to take the lead back and forth. So many lead changes in this one.
My heart rate is just going crazy right now.
Buisa. Driving, partially blocked by Ahlstrom. She knocks it out of bounds.
Again, just so good, just ducking that shoulder down, still getting to the rim as Carleton will call a timeout.
4:02 remaining in the 4th. You are watching the U Sports Gold Medal Championship Women's Basketball, and we've been treated to a fantastic, it's been a great weekend.
Well, take a look here. I mean, there's you talked about your heart rate, Kira. I mean, both these coaches and just the swing of emotions of the calm conversations there or the frustration at a certain call that doesn't go your way. And it's just part of the whole aspect of what goes on. And even here, last game of the year, you're still coaching and teaching and talking. And Kira, you know this far better than me as a coach at the collegiate level. I mean, it is just a constant swing of emotions that you're dealing with and how you navigate each player. And that's what they're playing for right there. U Sports gold medals.
Well, and when you get to the game, in terms of a coach, like you've done what you can do going into the game for the most part, right? And so you're hoping that you've prepared your team in practice. So having that feel of a little bit of helplessness sometimes, and it comes out in like anxiety and an emotion, because I know for myself, 3/4 of the time I want to be strapping my shoes on and getting out there just to show them how to do it, and got to keep myself composed and remind myself what my role is when it gets tight.
Well,
4:02 remaining. Carleton looking to repeat as U Sport champion. And Saskatchewan looking for their 3rd national championship in their program's history.
Saskatchewan's 16th appearance at the Final Eight. Amazing. Prior to 2006, they'd only been once. That was 1982 when they hosted, so it just shows how much they've been here since 06.
Poulin puts it on the floor to Burke. Nice pass, nice finish. Poulin to Burke.
Really good movement underneath.
Grasek. Ahlstrom gets pushed from behind, no foul called. Grasek tie up.
Arrow favors the Huskies, so they'll retain possession. Again, the Ravens do such a good job of forcing you to play so high.
Dodig, 3 to go. Can't get that rebound. And Saskatchewan believes it should be their ball, but the officials disagree. Pockernick, her team leads by 1. Puts her head down, drives, kick it out. Poulin in the corner for 3. No good, out of bounds. And it's going to be Ravens ball. The fans disagree. That was really close.
And we got a really good look right here.
Ooh.
Hard to tell if it was the left hand of Ahlstrom that might have poked it out or if it was off Carleton. That's a close one.
And a travel as Poulin took one too many steps. Good defense here by Saskatchewan, under 3 minutes remaining.
Reeder doing a great job on ball defense. Last couple of possessions, just doing her job and doing it well.
Grasek. Drives to her right, puts it off the glass, too strong. Burke there for the rebound. As the defense has ratcheted up here in the fourth quarter. Pockernick with a tough shot. That goes, puts the Ravens up by 3. Grasek looking for a response. Lane opens up. Too strong. Rebound controlled by the Ravens.
Offense not coming easy to the Huskies right now.
Pockernick. In the corner to Burisa. Loses the handle, but she's called for the travel. And Saskatchewan calls timeout with 2:02 remaining. 3-point ball game.
Again, had to thought about that 3, and then you see the frustration there, and the Huskies saying, hey, wait a second, but hey, there's no way you're making that call at this point. If you're an official, you're not teeing her up for that.
Yeah.
No chance.
To send her out of the game. Allowed to be emotional, give her a warning.
Yeah, that's right. But you said it, Kira, a couple moments ago. Right now for the Huskies, getting some looks, but having to work an awful lot more for them, getting to the rim, but hard contests that just aren't falling for them right now.
Yeah, just not looking very easy for them offensively. Lots of back rim bouncing around. And a lot of those shots, too, are like kind of floaters that are tough. Like, those are tough shots. Like, they're not jump shots. They're not layups. They're those in-betweens. And those can be really hard to get to fall. And, I mean, Grasek has had such a nice touch all game. And they're just not falling for her at this moment.
Grasek hasn't scored at all in the fourth quarter. Still has a game-high 28.
And Ahlstrom right now sitting with 13, averages 14 a game. Grasek also, well, Grasek I should say well above her season average of 13. .202 remaining.
You know, if I told you back in November the championship would be a 3-point game with 2 minutes remaining in the fourth, you'd probably think I was nuts, but that's exactly what we have in front of us right now. What a weekend in front of us, and turnover there by Saskatchewan.
Carleton doing what they do best and forcing those turnovers, causing a little bit of, I don't want to say chaos, but disrupting the composure of Saskatchewan a little bit.
Pockernick takes a look at the shot clock. 3, 2, spins, fires. What a play by Callie Pockernick. And with 90 seconds remaining, the Huskies call timeout. 5-point advantage for the Ravens.
Yeah, Pockernick, it's just, I mean, how many times do we have to say it? It's just incredible what she can do. Gets her defender to fall off, and then just that touch off balance. And again, she's obviously not the biggest player on the floor, but it doesn't matter. I mean, she's just, the touch is just unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is. She gets anywhere within that 15-foot, and it's just that, and we were just talking about how hard that little floater is, and it's just her signature. She gets, and it's so unbelievably quick. I mean, you're not able to score the way that she does at this level when you're 5'3" if you don't have a bag like she does.
It's a 9-0 run for the Ravens. Huskies led just over 6 minutes to go, 63-59. They haven't scored since. You got to look at some of the Pandas alumni. It's been great all weekend among all the fans, the Saskatchewan fans, the Carleton fans. We've seen lots of Laval fans, Queens fans. Of course, Laval winning the bronze medal earlier this afternoon that you both called.
Reminder, we'll have the awards ceremony following this one. Laval still waiting to get their bronze medal. We're going to do it all at the same time. But 90 seconds left. Huskies down by 5. Murphy weave. Ends up in the hands of Grasick. For 3. She is bumped. Pockernick. Edged out of bounds by Grasick. And that's going to be foul number 3, her first foul since the first quarter. We thought that was going to be something we'd have to monitor, but still able to drop it 28 points despite playing with 2 fouls early.
And the intensity of the Huskies defense ramping up here. Lots of pressure. They know that they need the ball back.
Pockernick does a great job to not commit a turnover on Grasick. Easy lay-in. Thought there was some contact. And a timeout called with 1:05 remaining. 3-point ball game.
Yeah, good pressure here by the Huskies as Pockernick just trying to keep that ball. And she thinking, Grasick thinking she got touched.
But she was telling the ref that she's yelling in her ear as she ran by.
Okay.
So it
Gotcha,
was,
yep.
as she went, and she did, as she went up for the layup, she just yelled in her ear, and that was what Grasick was telling the ref there.
Yep. What do you think the vibe is in that Saskatchewan huddle right now as we get a look at the bronze baby, Kira?
Calm.
Yeah.
Calm. 3-point game, minute left. One of the things that I know that they do in practice all the time is situations, right? Down 3, minute left, down 5, 2 minutes left. Those are things that you do in practice in those moments, so you know what you need to be doing. It's not an unfamiliar feeling when you get into big games, so it's not something that's brand new to them. This isn't a moment that is, and I mean, in this gym, they've had buzzer beater, very close games at the beginning of the season, so you know it's a calm confidence that they've had the entire season, and something that we've talked about with their demeanor, and it's going to carry through right into the very end of this game.
Doug, what can you say about this game we've been treating? This has been an unbelievable matchup between the 2 top teams in U Sports.
Yeah, just, I mean, incredible basketball. Both teams battling hard, and the confidence, and we've talked a lot about the poise and patience of the Huskies, but Carleton no different as they decide to not advance the ball to half. They'll take it from their own baseline, will Carleton.
Both teams have fouls to give as well with 1:05 remaining. Buisa to Pockernick. Pockernick 18 points in this one. Turns on the Jets. Good job there by Grasick not to foul. Pockernick in traffic, loses it. Burke goes up and lays it in. Saskatchewan calls timeout, 47.2 remaining. Back to a 5-point lead for Carleton, and Pockernick is limping.
Again, just an incredible burst by Pockernick and draws everybody to her. And in behind, Burke able to clean it up and put it home. So we're back to a 2-possession game. And Carleton, I think, especially the last 4 or 5 minutes, have done an even better job of disrupting the Huskies' offense. I thought overall today Saskatchewan's handled that pressure pretty well, but we've seen a couple maybe ill-advised shots. The Grasick 3 a couple possessions ago. We just haven't seen that much from the Huskies here tonight. But again, you've talked about it before, just how much of a grind it is going up against a team like Carleton, and sometimes, that's what Carleton's. That's the benefit you get out of doing that for 40 minutes, is that eventually you're going to get some tough shots and situations that play even more to your advantage.
Well, and I think both of these teams got here because they play full 40 minutes all the time, and they wear teams down as the game goes on, right? Taking care of the ball, not making tons of mistakes, and that's really hard to do as the game goes on, especially when you're up against, a really good defensive team and an aggressive one. Saskatchewan's done it to teams all year, just kind of squeeze the life out of them a little bit. And Carleton, a similar style in terms of just suffocating you, smothering you on defense, and making you make mistakes. And it's an exhausting style to have to come up against offensively all the time. And you're going to get bumped. You're going to get pushed. You're going to get smacked every single time. And that's, it's a hard thing to do over a course of a game.
Programming note, Tatiana Burke is now wearing jersey number 13.
That's what they had come, yeah.
Because why not switch a jersey with 47.2 seconds left?
Must have had blood on it.
Probably, yep. And a pause here before we get underway. We're just making sure we have the right time, shot clock. Changing the scoreboard to reflect the jersey change, I believe what this is. So much pressure on the timekeeper right now. The entire nation is watching him. There we go. We're ready to go. Hey.
Performing under pressure, not just the athletes.
47.2 seconds left. Grasick for 3. Short. Out of bounds. Carleton will get possession. I don't think the clock started either.
Yeah, it was a
quick play.
It wasn't that quick a play. But yeah, she definitely got it off very quickly.
But no one seemed to have picked up on that, so Carleton will inbound. Maybe what, 1 full second, second and a half?
I'm interested to see the plan of attack here.
Donato to Pockernick. To Urban, stolen by Ahlstrom. Saskatchewan's gonna have to move. Dodig, 30 seconds. To Grasick, takes a look. Dodig for 3. That is short. Murphy-Wiebe there for the rebound. Finds Ahlstrom. 18 seconds. Ahlstrom to Reeder. 8 to go on the shot clock. Reeder puts on the floor. Murphy-Wiebe goes up, lays it in, and 11 seconds left. 3-point game. Timeout called by Carleton. So that took a lot of time. Still have fouls.
Carleton doing a really good job pressuring them super high, not even giving them a sniff at a 3, knowing that if they score a layup, we're still in good. You don't want them to, but if you give up a 3, you're a lot more trouble.
And sometimes that's the thing, too, for the offensive team. Do you focus and spend a lot of time trying to get that open 3, or get the look, get the 2, and then, save yourself some clock? Finally, they worked it down to Murphy-Wiebe, was able to score, but time not favoring the Huskies right now, down 3 with just 11 seconds to go. And to your point earlier, fouls to give. They've only committed, there's only 2 team fouls. So fouling right now, you got to do it quick, but you're going to eat up at least 3 or 4 seconds even to get yourself to 4. but 3 of the top 5 leaders in the nation in steals per game come from the Saskatchewan Huskies. Grasic, Dodig, and Demong.
It's going to be very aggressive defense. Go for the steal. Foul if you don't get it.
11 seconds to go. Carleton with a 3-point lead. Pockernick fouled from behind by Dodig. 0.6 of a second come off the clock. That's foul number 4 on Dodig. Poulin. Stolen! Saskatchewan's going to have to move and a foul called. 6.9 seconds remaining. And Saskatchewan's going to have a chance to tie.
So interesting, Demong, their best 3-point shooter, not in the game right now. Dodig, 34%. Ahlstrom, 27.
6.9 seconds. Saskatchewan needs a 3. Reeder heaves it up. Almost goes. Carleton hangs on, and they do it for the second consecutive. No.
Yeah, that's the right call. There was about 0.4 on the clock. It may be academic at this point, but
so thought it was over. Foul number 5 for Dodig. So Doug, you are right. It's just 0.3 seconds left. Saskatchewan had a chance. Maybe not the best look at a tie. But for the second consecutive season, the Carleton Ravens are national champions. First repeat champions in almost 10 years.
just an unbelievable performance by both teams, and Carleton with that offensive burst in the last 5 minutes. Do enough to get themselves.
The game is not over. They're going to do this again. I've never seen anything quite like what's happening right now.
To me, at this stage, like,
I don't understand why they inbound. Didn't they inbound it?
They did, and Saskatchewan didn't even defend the inbound.
So now Saskatchewan will. Listen, I've seen some strange things. Now it is over. For a third time in about 30 seconds, the Carleton Ravens have won back-to-back U Sports champions. Something about Carleton winning national championships in this gym. The men's side did it 2 years ago, and the women follow suit. 70-63. Congratulations to the Carleton Ravens. They are U Sports champions.
Yeah, just as I said a moment ago, just an incredible game. Two great teams. You could play this game tomorrow and it might be 70-67 Saskatchewan. I mean, that's just how close these teams are. And like I said, that late push offensively where the Ravens were able to build that lead, and the Huskies just could not buy a bucket late, and that's credit to how good Carleton continued to play defense and just grind away at the defensive end. And at the end of the day, that's what made the difference, as you get a look there at the Saskatchewan Huskies. And the jubilant Carleton Ravens, back-to-back national championships, their third all time.
Yeah, they are just a nightmare matchup. Like, just so many athletic weapons, and like Pockernick, just outstanding game, outstanding tournament, and yeah, well deserved. What a great performance by the Ravens.
So a chaotic finish to what was an incredible championship game.
And even for, you look at Carleton late, and after that turnover, Huskies get the ball, but again, they dig in, do the Ravens, and do not give Reeder anything. And she had time to either, find an open teammate, find a better look for herself. She couldn't get one.
Yeah, she was just smothered, but really good defense to not foul her either. The last thing you want to do is send her to the line for 3 to try and tie the game, and did a really good job of smothering her and not giving her an option, but not fouling at the same time, and that's credit to the Carleton defense.
Gage Grasick, player of the game for Saskatchewan. 30 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Number 6 wearing number 13, Tatiana Burke, player of the game. As full marks, this Carleton team comes out west, wins 3 in a row. And now we're going to have the medal presentations as we're going to bring the Laval Rouge et Or back on the floor to receive their bronze medals. But first, the greatest tradition in sports is the handshake. These two teams fought incredibly hard tonight, all weekend long. Fitting end to what was a fantastic weekend of basketball.
Yeah, it was, again, as expected and as advertised, I think, between these two teams and just what they both brought here today.
As the Carleton Ravens salute the fans that made the trip out. And again, Doug mentioned something about Carleton playing in this gym.
Yeah, obviously we saw the men 2 years ago play an amazing semifinal against the Alberta Golden Bears and then knock off the Saskatchewan Huskies men's team in the final. And Carleton, they've obviously built an incredible legacy in basketball. Their men's team not at nationals this year for the first time in eons, but their women's team picking up the mantle, winning their second straight national title. As we mentioned, 3rd overall for Saskatchewan. That'll be their 3rd silver medal of all time. Also one from 2011, another from 2018, and now here in 2024.
Now we're going to hand out some hardware, some All-Stars and MVPs. Yeah, let's throw it down to the public address announcers. We hand out some awards.
To all the staff, to all the coaches here this weekend, and let's raise it up a couple notches for all the student athletes out there on the court this weekend. For myself and the University of Alberta, we thank you so much for everything you do for the community. And first, we'd like to recognize the Tournament All-Stars. From Queens, Julia Chatwick.
De l'Université de Laval, Sophie Verret. From the University of Saskatchewan, Carly Armstrong. And again from the University of Saskatchewan, Gage Grasick.
And from Carleton, Kiana Ching Poulet. Next, we would like to recognize the tournament MVP. Put your hands together for the Carleton University Ravens, number 4, Callie Parker-Nick. Congratulations once again. And now, on to our medals and trophy portion of the evening. Here to present the awards, please welcome CEO of U Sports, Pierre Arsenault, to the court for the presentation. First, the presentation of the bronze medals to Laval Rouge et Or.
Nous présentons tout d'abord la médaille de bronze au rouge et or de l'Université de Laval.
There you get a look at U Sports CEO Pierre Arsenault handing out the bronze medals to the Laval Rouge et Or, who had a great day on the court. Bronze medal here, gold medal at home in Quebec City on the men's side as they knock off Queens. But Kira, as Mark will be down on the floor momentarily getting some reaction from the Carleton Ravens. But Kira, as we look back on this tournament, we came into this tournament knowing this was an extremely deep field, really 1-8. Not knowing who, I mean, again, you know, I mean, playing in these tournaments, you just never really know what you're going to end up with. And it would not have been shocking to see one of these top teams get upset considering the depth of the field, but a testament, I think, to how good these teams are that they persevered through those two initial rounds, got here, and still gave us an unbelievable performance tonight.
Well, and I think if you look at the point discrepancy between the semifinal between the Huskies and Laval and then this gold medal final, 3 points, you know, like it's amazing how close those games were and how close these teams are, even and more interesting, the style of play, all three of them so differently, bring such different things to the table, but such close games in all of the important ones as the tournament went on. And I really do think, you know, sometimes with matchups and the way that you end up on the side of the draw, and, you know, if you haven't played teams earlier on in the season, sometimes you don't end up with the best two teams in the final, and I mean, I guess that's subjective too. It's kind of how it shakes out. But I really do think that these three teams in front of us were the three best teams in this tournament, and it played out the way, you know, that we would have expected these three getting medals. Which color to who, I'm not sure, but, you know, I think that these three are definitely the top three teams in the country.
Well, you look at Carleton, they spent the first 5 weeks of the season as the #1 team in the nation, and the last 3, the Saskatchewan Huskies, the only other 4 weeks, they were top, so no surprise to see the two of them here in the final. And of course, we said it a few minutes ago, the Saskatchewan Huskies, a perennial attendee at the Final 8, said making their 16th all-time appearance, and 15 of those have been since 2006. And there you get the medal given to U Sports Coach of the Year, Lisa Tomaitis, who has maybe get a little bit of downtime, and then she's got to start sprechen Sie Deutsch a little bit to get ready for the Paris Olympics. And of course, she's no stranger to Olympic basketball competition, having led Team Canada and their senior women's national team that are based here in Edmonton, having led that team for many years. So great to see her back on the international scene.
I always knew like her schedule was crazy and like that it must be so exhausting because she just coaches university all year, and then as soon as our season was over, she was gone doing national team stuff and like in season as well, like having to make trips to go do qualifying tournaments and a bunch, and as she did this year with Germany. But now that I've coached a little bit and got like a tiny taste of how exhausting and how wearing the season has been on me, it's unbelievable that she's been able to keep up the pace that she has been. But it also makes sense that, you know, she is who she is and knows the game as well as she does because she just never stops. And it's just, it's an incredible schedule to maintain over a long period of time.
Yeah, certainly not easy to do it, but again, for so many years, one of, if not the best coaches in. She went 11-9, and since then just 1 year under 500, and that was 07-08, where the Huskies were 9-13. And now we'll turn to the now two-time defending national champions, the Carleton Ravens. Finished the regular season 21-1, an overall record of 35-1 this season. The only blemish coming to their crosstown rivals, the Ottawa Gee-Gees, back in their last game before exams in December, where they fell 74-56. But depth on both of these teams, and just the incredible athleticism that Carleton brought throughout the season, and certainly we got to see it firsthand here this weekend, was maybe unparalleled, not just in this tournament, but likely in the nation.
Yeah, like it's like we talked about it the entire game, just nightmare matchup after nightmare matchup. The speed, the length, the aggression, the intensity and compete as well that comes from the top down. They're relentless, and it's impressive to watch, and it's a really tough thing to guard one-on-one, and as good as the Saskatchewan team defense is, it's, you know, if you're forcing rotations and you're able to finish tough shots when you get into the paint, you know, it's really, really tough thing to have to guard. And Carleton, their touch around the rim and their ability to clean up their misses, like their field goal percentage is so high, right? So they don't miss often, and when they do miss, they're cleaning it up, right? So that's a really tough thing to have to deal with, and then just their smothering, suffocating defense that they're so good at. And you can play high-risk defense like that when you have the athletes that Carleton does, because you can take that little extra risk trying to go for a pass and not get it, but then be able to recover because of your length and your speed.
Yeah. We saw head coach Danny Sinclair there moments ago, her second national title as a coach, also won one as a player back when she played with UVic in 2004. Started her career as a McMaster Marauder, won the then CIS Rookie of the Year award in 1999. And she's translated that success on the floor as a player to clear success now as a head coach. And we'll just get everyone set up for the banner presentation and the trophy. Brennan Mann from University of Alberta Athletics doing his best to coordinate everyone, and I've managed some of these award ceremonies, and they are a tricky thing to do because everyone's trying to do their own thing, and they want pictures here and I get it. It is a unique thing to do for whether you're the athlete or the person trying to coordinate everything. But now we will get, there you see the RCMP bringing in the bronze baby and the national championship banner, which will remain in the city of Ottawa on the campus of Carleton University for at least the next 12 months.
One as much as watching the team get their medals is hard when you're the losing team, watching the trophy and the banner is by far the most difficult.
And it's, again, you as a player know this. I mean, just the grind that goes in as a player to get yourself here, and it's so much sacrifice and work and effort. And so if you're Carleton, you get to enjoy the spoils of that. I mean, obviously for the other 7 teams in this tournament in Saskatchewan here tonight, you don't, but certainly memories that down the road you'll fondly consider as the bronze baby gets handed from Pierre Arsenault over to Callie Pockernick and Dorcas Buisa. And now the teammates come over.
It's funny watching Pockernick trying to celebrate there. The trophy's just out of her reach. Can't even have a hand on it. But you wouldn't know that by watching her game. Man, did she have a tournament.
Yeah, and somewhat of a quiet first half for her today, but the thing that's so amazing, we talked about it multiple times over the course of the broadcast, is that she gets the shots that she wants. I mean, just the ability to create looks, and then just, we've said it too, that incredible touch she has to finish often in the trees.
And even if she's not putting it up, she's drawing so much attention. You know, she's so quick that again, another one-on-one matchup that's so tough to deal with, that you have to have support in behind, and there's always eyes watching her when the ball's in her hands, right? Which just opens up things for her teammates.
Back-to-back Final 8 MVP for Callie Pockernick, 4th-year player out of Oakville, Ontario. And again, just stepped up come playoff time, coming into this game, 24 points, finishes with 18 tonight. And we'll continue. And we've got Danny Sinclair now down with Mark Majot.
Well, Danny, you are back-to-back national champions. How does that feel?
I'm still sinking in. I mean, that was a wild ending. So the coach in me is still a little bit frustrated in our execution, but just so happy for this team, the preparation that they've put into this, the hours of film and practice, and what they've fought through together, as most teams do when they get to this point. I'm just so proud of them.
Climbing the mountain once is hard enough, but doing it back-to-back here, especially coming out west, just how proud of you of this team and what they're able to accomplish?
Unbelievably proud, and a lot of credit has to go to Callie Pockernick. I mean, there's just, you can't say enough about her, the leader that she is. She puts the team on her back. I think technically she played one of her worst games of the season, but she's still hitting big shots. And, you know, it seemed like that she was the only one that could handle the ball at the end of the game. So just happy for the whole group and really proud of all of them.
And I know you've won a national championship as a player. Now you've won 2 as a coach. Do they feel any different, or now that you're older and you can maybe just look back and you can appreciate how hard it is to climb that mountain?
Do I look that old? No, I feel old after that game, and no, I think that's exactly it. Like, as you age and the longer I do this as a coach, the more appreciation you have for just how hard it is, and you know, you don't take any of it for granted, and each group is so special. It was a very different season, even though we had many returning players, and they had to start from square one, and they did. They were willing to do that, and tonight we party.
Yeah, I think your team's doing some karaoke, so I'll let you go join them. Congratulations. Have some fun tonight.
Thank you so much.
Back to Doug and Kira.
Thanks, Mark, and Coach Sinclair, who will now maybe jump in the celebration, or maybe watch from a safe distance. I don't know. We'll see what she prefers. We're going to try to grab Callie Pockernick here, I think, momentarily as well, if we can. But such a great demonstration. There's Coach Sinclair right in the middle of it. such a great demonstration of what U Sports is all about, I think, here this weekend. Great crowds, great talent on the floor, great action. We saw the alumni from the Pandas, so speaking to that legacy component, lots of alumni, I think, from the Huskies as well, you being one. I saw others here today. And I'm just going to get Mark set up here with Final 8 MVP Callie Parker. They're just trying to find a spot on the floor. There we go. I think we're now down to Mark.
Joined by tournament MVP Callie Pocknick. First of all, back-to-back national champions. What's going through your mind right now?
Oh my God, so much. You know, this team is just amazing. We compete every day. We push each other to be the best we can every day. I absolutely love them. They are going to be my people for the rest of my life, and I can't thank anyone enough for them. They're amazing.
Climbing the mountain one time is hard enough, but doing it back-to-back, coming out west in a gym you're not overly familiar with, your team had to face a lot of adversity. What was able to get you over the hump?
Just knowing that my team has my back and I have their back, we all know at the end of the day we're doing it for each other, so there's no question if you're in or if you're out. We just knew we were doing it for each other.
And I noticed after the game you had a special moment with someone in the crowd. You want to share that story? You shared a special moment. Who was that with, and if you want to share that story?
Yeah, that is our new athletic director. She's been a part of our, process this whole year and also last year, and she is our biggest supporter. You know, she's there at every home game. She's there even away games sometimes, and we love her to death. So just having her here just shows how much she cares for us and how great of an athletic director she's going to be.
Well, congratulations. You and your team worked incredibly hard. Go have some fun, and thanks for giving us a couple of minutes. Congratulations. Callie Pocknick, tournament MVP. Let's throw it back to Doug and Kira.
Thanks, Mark. And Callie Pocknick. Again, just an outstanding performance by her, among others. And it's pretty nice when you have the range of weapons that the Carleton Ravens do. We're just going to hang on and see if Mark might grab one more Ravens player, but we'll keep an eye on that. But in the interim, yeah, I mean, so nice. I mean, you know you're going to get the scoring from her, but knowing you're going to get it from multiple other places is pretty nice.
And they just, one of the things that I thought was going to hurt them a little bit was the fact that they just didn't shoot many threes. They have such a high percentage, but they just didn't shoot very many. But they stayed true. Like, they didn't shoot very many, but they shot a high percentage again. And when they needed a three and they needed a score, they found a way.
And Mark's become photographer here momentarily as we're going to try to grab Tatiana Burke, but he's now helping take photos of the
like you said,
the Burke family.
The organization of the ceremony is a difficult one.
So in exchange for a photo, Mark gets an interview, and we're going to head down now to Mark with Tatiana Burke.
It's a fair trade. I took some photos for an interview. Tatiana, congratulations. Your team has climbed that mountain again. What's going through your mind right now?
Honestly, I'm speechless. My mind's kind of blank, honestly. Like, just thinking about our first game and the amount of effort we've put in this season. Obviously, we came in as the underdogs. A lot of people wanted Saskatchewan to win, but to honestly beat them, it felt so amazing. It's an unbelievable feeling. Words cannot describe, honestly, how we feel. We have a lot of members that are leaving, graduating this year, and we just did it for them, honestly. Especially Callie, Dorcas, Ocean, Hadiza, like everyone who's obviously leaving, like they're basically family. Like, we're all family, and it feels like an unbelievable experience.
And you mentioned the atmosphere. Coming out west to a gym you're not overly familiar with, and you mentioned it was probably a pro-Saskatchewan crowd tonight. The adversity your team had to face down at the end of the third quarter, what were you able to pull out in that fourth quarter to come out ahead?
Honestly, we just said put our heads down. It's not over until the buzzer is done. I know that we came in, it was a hard fight because Saskatchewan is really good. But we just, honestly, we were thinking head down, no matter what the score is, get back. It's 0-0. So to feel the feeling right now, again, everything is just speechless because we did it. And it's like the final chapter, everything's done. So.
Yeah, congratulations. Been a long season, back-to-back U Sports national champions. Congratulations. Go have some fun with your teammates.
Thank you so much.
It's chaotic down on the floor. Let's throw it back up to Doug and Kieran.
Thanks, Mark and Tatiana. Mark will quickly make his way back up here, and we'll wrap up. But so, Kira, as we get towards the end of your final thoughts on what was an outstanding tournament.
I mean, there's so many things, but the one thing that I really did want to touch on, and one thing I think is really important, is just the growth of this game. You know, not just on the women's side, but on the men's side as well in Canada. The talent, the athleticism, and just the amount of exposure that this game has gotten over the last few years is just amazing. And to watch it grow into what it is and what it is becoming is just such an exciting thing to be a part of. And, you know, seeing all the Panda alumni that were out this weekend, and like you said, the Sask alumni, and just the fans that are out here, the energy in this building for those games, it's just wonderful. And I think it's so important. And these young women, they're not just athletes, but they are leaders to be as well. And so going through this and being a student athlete is such an unbelievably difficult thing to do. And they do it with such poise, and they represent the sport so well. All of the interviews that we did with these young women were unbelievable, and they're just great characters and such good role models for those that come after. And, you know, this game has grown so much in so many different ways and in such a short amount of time, even from when I played. I mean, it's not as short as I like to think it was, but and that, you know, that at the end of it is really the important part, is just like who is coming out of these programs and what are they doing with the rest of their lives. And basketball is such a beautiful vehicle for that. And I'm so glad that this stage is getting bigger and there's just more opportunity for girls to play every year.
I'm not sure if you mentioned it, Doug, but I feel like if they played this game 10 times, we'd split it right down the middle, 5-5.
That was basically said the same thing.
That was quite an effort, and, you know, I kind of forgot Saskatchewan was ahead at the end of the third quarter. What Tatiana said, it's a 0-0 game. Let's just take it possession by possession. They bent, they never broke, and I'm just speechless as to the basketball we saw over the last 4 days. It was truly outstanding and happening right in front of us. Back-to-back U Sports national champions. A moment this team, this family, this group will truly never forget. They came out west. I don't want to say they were the underdogs, but they certainly weren't the fan favorite here, right? This was a very pro-Saskatchewan crowd, and they went in and they slayed that dragon, and just see the joy and the jubilation on all their faith. They climbed the mountain. They didn't do it once, they did it twice. And they did it with a target on their back. I heard you mention they only had one loss this entire season. And unbelievable effort by this Carleton team. And full marks to Saskatchewan. A couple things go their way, who knows what happens, but I'm just speechless after an incredible national championship game we just saw.
And I think it's important to note, like, it's really, really hard to win. And hard to get there, but it's even harder to stay there. And, you know, so repeating, like you said, it hasn't happened since Windsor, and there's a reason for that. Winning is so hard, and being able to do it back to back is an unbelievable achievement. Like, there's so many things that have to go your way, and so much work that has to be put in to win. And so, you know, congratulations to the Ravens for not being able to do it not just once, but twice. It's an incredible achievement.
Doug, do you have any final thoughts before we sign off for the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just echo what you both just said, and it just an incredible display of basketball, and I think it just an incredible display of what university sport is about in this country, and we're fortunate to see it. We were fortunate to see it here again, and thanks to the athletes and the coaches and all the fans for making it such a great weekend.
Kira, final thoughts before we sign off?
I'm grateful that I got to be a part of it. It was unbelievable to see in person. I'm so excited for what the future brings, and I'm unbelievably grateful for all of the alumni and all of the women that paved the way for this game to get to where it is today.
Well, I think they're going to put us to work. They're going to get us a broom as we're going to start sweeping up all this confetti as the Ravens are celebrating on the floor. What a night, what a game, what a weekend. Again, we thank everyone that put this event on. Thanks to the City of Edmonton for doing a great job hosting. Thanks to anyone who spent part of their weekend with us, inviting us into their living room. It's not lost on all of us how fortunate we are to get to do this type of stuff. So thank you for watching. Congratulations to the Carleton Ravens, back-to-back U Sports national champions. Congratulations to Saskatchewan. Congratulations to Laval and to all 8 teams that played their hearts out this weekend. I guess we'll see you next November. It's hard to think about, but I'm already thinking about the 24-25 season. So on behalf of all of us here at the Saskatchewan Community Sports Center in Edmonton, thank you for watching this weekend. Enjoy the rest of your evening. The Carleton Ravens, 2024 U Sports National Champions. Good night, everyone.